of Bug Tarot, and welcome back to all my tarot goblins. So today we're doing the week ahead with our divination grid. So that's the Russian divination deck. We'll be working with that, and we're going to be getting an affirmation card as well from our very sassy affirmation deck. And I'll be using a combination of Celtic and Nordic runes, as well as tarot cards to get clarification as we lay out the grid. So that's kind of what we're doing. As always, there are timestamps in the description below, so if you want to skip ahead to when I'm laying out the grid or kind of when the general reading starts, you can do that. Sometimes things come through when I'm laying out the grid. Not always, but sometimes. So just giving a heads up, I guess. All right, so we're just going to dive in. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. So can we get... Ooh, okay, 2. I'm going to put those over there. You know what? I'm seeing that one too. We get 3. Ooh, one of each color. There's like a pink, a black, and a white one. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right. So what is going on for the week ahead? And the week ahead, I'm going to be changing up my nails. That's just for me. We've been having a lot of fun with exploring nail art. It's like, finally, that fine arts degree is coming in handy. Yay. But we're having fun with it. All right. But for our collective, what is going on for the week ahead? What's going on? Kind of figure out what's happening. All right. Gonna pull these all in. Okay, come on. Being a little difficult. Give you a quick shuffle this way. And then we will lay out the grid. So if you've never seen this deck before, I'm trying to get this out. The reason why the camera's so far back is that I use the entire deck. And as we're laying these cards out, trying to get them all in frame, some pictures will line up. Ooh, we actually have one right here. We have the birds. They line up like that. And each card has a quarter. Ooh, I got 2 runes of a picture. So each picture has a general meaning, and then depending on its orientation, there's 4 different positions depending on how they're turned. There's more nuance in it. So, ooh, we have Nalthys and the Celtic rune for shield and protection. Ooh. And usually if I can lay down the first row well, then I don't have to worry about the rest of the rows. Ooh, we've got the sun. And at the end, I like to match as I go. Some people... Ooh, we have word. The blank rune. Some people like to... match at the end. Everybody's different. There's no right or wrong way to do it. This is just the way I do. All right, I think we've got that row pretty well done. So let's see. And I do try to take some time at the end to stare deeply into things and see if any more pictures match up. And sometimes I find them and sometimes I don't. And sometimes in the middle of a read and I'm like, oh shoot, completely missed that. It happens. So this is the part. Honestly, I like doing the matching part. I don't know, just definitely. Ooh, we got the letter. We got a lot coming out. This might be a longer read. I've had some pretty long reads with this deck before because you can't be like, oh, I just need 3 cards. It's just going to come out. Oh, and I just saw the mountain. And sometimes there's very few pictures line up, and sometimes a bunch do. So we have Kanaz for our letter. Huh. And we have Anzus, which is signs and synchronicities. Kanaz is like illumination, enlightenment. It's the symbol for, it's the Celtic rune for like torch. Something being illuminated, which is interesting. It comes out with the letter. And Anzus with signs and synchronicities, and the mountain as well. The mountain is a very challenging symbol or picture. So interesting. And I'll get the book out later because I know the general meaning for like the sun and the birds up here, but they're also in the 4th position, which typically for most pictures is a much more challenging position. So it'll be interesting how those all interact. It always is. Always is. Yep. Nope, that one's over there. Let's see. Nope. 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 Nothing there. Ooh. Oh, shoot. Got the heart. Ooh. Between the general humidity in my room and the very slick surface of this table and the flatness of the cards and my nails, it's a little hard sometimes to pick these up. So we have to slide them out and do it that way. Ooh, okay, we got 2. All right, so the Norse rune Othilla, which is like property and legacy, possessions, inheritance, terror and fear. Ooh, for the Celtic rune. Interesting. And it's interesting that the heart that's coming up with the heart, and it's in the 3rd position, which is not as challenging as the 4th up here, but can still be. Again, it depending on the picture. Some of them follow that, and some of them don't. Which is always lovely. Because that's what? Outside of the general meaning of the pictures, it's 50 cards, 50 pictures, so 40. That's, math. 200 different meanings. I can't keep up with them all. We use the book. There's 0 shame in using reference. Anybody ever gives you a hard time about that, just stop. All right. Nope. Nope. Apple's up there. And the piggy. Don't see anything there. Okay. Nope. All right, last row. Are we still in frame? Ooh, all right. I try to make sure the camera's gonna get everything, because it's a lot. Even our second camera over here, which has a slight delay in it. We try. I've tried syncing it up. It just does not want to play nice. It's not interested in playing nice most of the time. Nope. Wait. I saw the fish. Where did I see the fish? I did not see the fish around here. It's somewhere, but it's not in these 2 cards. Okay. Let's do you. Nope, you're over there. Sometimes by finding the matching picture somewhere on the board, just to double check. Okay, and then we have the last card. And if you're not familiar with this deck, the last card you read no matter what. And you read all of the pictures in their first position, their upright position. Okay, so, ooh, We got 3. Wow. Okay. We have the Norse rune Yira, which is harvest and cycles. Interesting. We have 2 Celtic runes. Transformation power, plenty and green pastures. Ooh. That's interesting with some of these images as well. Especially the mice and the horse here, the stallion. Okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Both of these pictures are more challenging pictures, I'll say. Like some of the images in this deck have very challenging meanings just right out of the gate. So it's interesting when they come up with things like transformation power, green pastures, cycles, things turning like that. It's, yeah. Because the mice, the general meaning is like the loss of a material item. Like, as an example, you invested in something and it fell through. Nothing worked out. Like you've been at a loss, you've been at a detriment, let's say in your physical resources, or things were actually taken from you in some capacity. And with the stallion has like tower energy. It's about great like emotional upheaval and sometimes physical upheaval, like things around you. So the fact that like transformation in Yira and these kind of coming together, I'm just automatically getting the sense like the vibe for this week is going to be overcoming something, like something is ending. A cycle is ending. A pretty brutal one, almost. I feel like a lot is going to be happening at the beginning of the week, not necessarily at the end of the week, but I am going to take a moment, stare deeply into this, and see if any other pictures match up. I just saw one right here. Dang it. As I'm saying it, I'm like, ding, there it is. All right, let's go ahead and grab this. Ooh, the dagger is coming up. Okay. All right, and then we have Parth. It's it's kind of Parth is kind of the rune for like a game piece, hidden things, something. Okay, we'll get to it. All right, now we're gonna take a moment, stare deeply, see if anything else matches, and I will be right back. Okay, we are back. I don't see any others. I did notice that our little log pile here, our wood pile, did line up with our last card. So in this case, because we do read the last card, all the pictures in their upright, their first position. When you have something like this that matches up in this way, what you do is you read 2. You read both positions. You read the initial position it's in, and then it's upright. And what that does is, again, this kind of transformation message coming through as well with cycles. Something's clearly changing. Ooh, we have, wait, this one is, there's Manaz and Awaz. Awaz, this is Awaz. I was like, shoot, which one is this? They're very similar in appearance. I always mess them up or mix them up. Awaz is, it's the symbol for a horse. So it's like teamwork, partnership, movement forward, that kind of vibe. That's interesting. Okay. All right, but first we're going to get our 3 messages. All right, so it says forgive and forget. It says nah, forgive and effing thrive. Okay. Again, this message of cycles coming through. Okay, this one says, listen, it's your turn to be selfish. Claim what you deserve. Ooh. Definitely some stuff going on here. You are your own ride or die. Show yourself some damn love and kindness. Okay. All right, that's mostly there. All right. It should be... Yeah, messages are up there. Okay, so those are your affirmations. So definitely I feel like things are happening at the beginning of the week. So we are going to... All right. On anybody? Wait. Oh no. I thought I saw one match up, but there's a card in between. That always happens. All right. We have the book. So we're going to start out with... I'm going to grab my little tarot deck here. With the birds up in the corner. That's number 12. Shuffle these off to the side real quick. Okay. So the general meaning of the birds is freedom from responsibilities. In its fourth position where it is now, it says an obstacle with which you will have to fight, which is interesting. Again, this book is very flowery in its language, so I'll do my best to interpret for you. With shield and protection, again, we have the Celtic rune for shield and protection. And we also have Nalthis, which is a rune of delay. Okay, something's coming in that you are protected in this. Whatever you're fighting for, or maybe fighting against, if there have been delays, I feel like it's a delay for a reason. Like you could have been wanting to hear back from something. Let's say you sent a message. I'm just using an example. You sent a message off and you're waiting to hear back and waiting to hear back. And things feel delayed and you can't move forward because you're waiting to hear back and get confirmation. And it could be one of those things like it's a delay, but it's a kind of blessing in disguise. There's some divine timing happening here almost. Where if you had heard immediately back and let's say made plans from what you heard back, it could have interfered with something else that was coming in that was at a higher caliber or a better, something better coming in. Again, I'm just using examples. Okay. Could we get some clarification, please? What we are able to know. Okay. With the Six of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So whatever's been delayed, it has been delayed for a reason. And I feel like overall it's in the long term something very good. I'm getting the energy with the Eight of Wands that things are going to start moving forward for you. It's no longer, you're no longer going to have these delays. Something is going to come forward that is in your best interest. Is still in frame. Go down. There we go. So the delays you've been experiencing from that, I feel like there's been a reason for it. And it could have been something, this is something like long term even you've been working on with the Six of Cups. It could be weeks, months, years, like something that has been slow going. And once it picks up, there's going to be, again, the symbol of the birds in general is freedom from responsibilities. There's going to be this sense of freedom. Things are going to come in and they're going to come in fast. But up until now, it's been kind of stale, I want to say, maybe even feeling stuck. Could we get anything else on that? Like what this is maybe about? Ooh. The Hanged Man. This is really due to you've changed your perspective on something. Ma'am, must you? She says yes. You've changed your perspective on something, or the perspective on what you've been working towards has changed. Something has changed fundamentally in your point of view, or even the point of view of the environment or society around you. But something big has changed. The point of view of something has changed, or the view on something even. I don't think we're going to get much else on that particular picture because that is, I feel, very personal to each individual and will vary. Ma'am, please don't get on the cards. Could you not? Could we keep our little paws? Not? Maybe? Hi. Please don't chew on the mic. Oh. What are you doing? Could we get off the... I need the book. You're a mess. You're a mess, ma'am. Hi. Yes, I'm in the middle of something. Okay. Could we get down, please? Ma'am. Look, I even set up a pillow for you. I know. There's a pillow. You don't have to lay on the book. She doesn't do this until I start reading. Okay, the sun, number 31. Nope, that's 33. Let's go back. All right, so the sun's general meaning is warmth and strength of character. In its fourth position is more of a challenging energy. The books here, it's coldness of the heart will freeze you. Again, very flowery. So, coldness of the heart. It's, if there's something that's happened emotionally, it does not necessarily have to do with the, it says the heart. It does not necessarily mean like a relationship or an intimate partnership. It could for some people. But in the past, if there's been a relationship you had that has left you feeling numb or maybe even cut off from those emotions, it definitely affected and hurt you deeply. Whatever happened in the past. And again, everybody's life experience is different. It's going to resonate different with everybody. Okay, could we get some... trying to keep an eye on the cat because she's notorious for getting... What are you doing? Oh my god, teenagers. I swear. Ooh, okay, so we have 2 kings. And the 8 of Pentacles. We have 8 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. This could have definitely been something in a work environment. And something in a work environment that you were very emotionally invested in as well. It wasn't just your physical resources, like your time and your energy, and you could have even been money you invested in this. Something definitely you worked very hard with. Yeah, there was an emotional aspect to this. And whatever happened, again, everybody's situation is going to be different. Definitely hurt you. Definitely cut deep. Ma'am. Hi. Are you licking my nose? Thank you. Thank you for the kiss. Well, she's sending you energy, if nothing else. Miss Midnight is definitely sending you energy. Nah, stop knocking the crystals off the table. Right. My god. Anyways, all right. So, that bit of nonsense could have been something unexpected, something out of left field, something that definitely left you reeling when it happened. And again, my cat, Midnight, is definitely sending you love. She came up and, like, she does this thing where she'll come up and, like, lick your nose. And I guess it's her way of, like, saying hi. It's very cute. Even if she is a little menace. Absolute menace that she is. Okay. And it's interesting we got word here. Word is the blank rune. And, yeah, it was, like, something unexpected. However, moving forward, there's also... Word is... The blank rune is also can mean, like, infinite possibilities. Can we get... Here, let me get our cards again. Can we get any more information about what this instance was? Okay, so they're the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Something you were very passionate about. this, again, with the Pentacles here, the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like it was something to do with a career or your work, something with your physical resources that you worked very hard with. But there was an emotional attachment here. You were very passionate about this. Did you doubt yourself? The Nine of Swords. Like, doubted yourself to the point of almost self-sabotage. Again, the message down here, this transformation, and again, going back to our affirmation cards, it could have been like a double-edged sword, where it was both kind of an almost internal self-sabotage, but also the environment that you were in was not supportive of what you were doing. Yeah. Claim what you deserve. It's your turn to be selfish. Interesting. I'm going to put these. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on for that. So I feel like that instance, whatever it was, and I just get the sense that it's something that was in the past. Not necessarily something that is happening this week, but something from the past. And it's interesting because, at least where I am in the US of A, Thanksgiving is this week. This is a timeless read for like the week ahead, but we are having a holiday coming up where there's like a gathering of people, whether it's blood family, chosen family, friendsgiving, a combination thereof, like whatever. There's usually a gathering of people. So there is something possibly from, I want to say like possibly something from the past that's kind of coming up. Strongly, I might add. We'll get more information going on, but it could be whether it's Thanksgiving for you or it's just in the future, this week, you could have a gathering of some kind where this instance, whatever this was, kind of comes up. Especially with the Nine of Swords. And it... Hi! Could we not? Ma'am? Oh, you are so dramatic. Stop. Here, you got a pillow. No pillow, only cards. She's ridiculous. All right. The letter. There could be a lot of distractions this week, popping up unexpectedly. Just don't mind her in the background. She is being cat. Okay, so the letter, its general meaning is news from a distance. Currently, it's in the third position. So that third position is you will hear long-awaited word. And we were talking about over here, this something coming in. I just remember we were using the example of like you've been waiting to hear back on something or something to move forward. And Kanaz as well is the rune of enlightenment? Illumination. That could be enlightenment. But it's the torch. It's being illuminated by something. What is this news coming in? Can we know a little bit more about that? Ooh, all right. We have the Four of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords. Ma'am. Ah, stop. Stop knocking the crystals off my desk. You are such a brat. Ma'am, it's a very serious conversation. Very serious. This could also be telling me to have some humor. Stop it. During this week. When things get a little out of control. Like kitties. Is to have a sense of humor when you approach things. Because, good lord. Okay. So on this person's earring, they actually have Othilla. The rune of Othilla here. So that'll be interesting because we actually have it on the grid as well. So this news is going to move things forward very swiftly. Whatever news is coming in, it could affect your physical resources. I'm also getting the sense of whatever this news is, long awaited word. It's something to keep close to your chest. Maybe not talk about it publicly yet. Could we get some more information about this news coming in? This news could be a double-edged sword with the Five of Swords. No pun intended. So while it may be good for you, the Five of Swords is very much about that clear-cut line between like winning and losing. Like, you may have won something, but that means someone else lost. So it's that, I think when they're talking about like, and use your intuition as well with Kanaz. As news comes in, use the wisdom that you have to discern about who you tell and maybe even how you say it could be very important. Because as things move forward, you know, I'm just getting the sense that like you don't want to step on anybody's toes. Not that I think you would on purpose. Like, I don't feel like anybody in this collective or anybody listening would be like that person to like shove a success or something in like another person's face. Ooh, Eight of Swords. A lot of swords. A lot of mental chatter happening right now. It could be that you have to be careful about what you say about this matter, about this information, this news, long-awaited word, you know, the news coming in, things moving forward. You're going to have to be careful about how you say and what you say and who you say it to. Because I get the feeling like things could get misconstrued very easily. Someone could take it the wrong way. And again, that's more telling on their side of things, but it could end up causing you unnecessary trouble. So yeah, just if you know there's someone who perhaps, I don't call them a gossip, but maybe they're not the best at mouth brain filters or keeping things on the down low, like you may have to be careful about what you say because it'll like get back to everybody. And yeah. So that, interesting. This is really interesting. Like, I have no idea what's going on. I feel like someone will. Someone out there is like, oh yeah, I know what this is. I don't, and I find it fascinating. All right, so 21. The mountain. So the mountain's general image is actually about danger. Okay, so again, this book, in the first upright position, it's a treacherous enemy is trying to catch you. Be on guard. Okay, so to translate that, again, we were just talking about, because this is like, be aware of the people around you. And with Anzus here, which is the rune for like signs and synchronicities, if things are lining up a little too perfect, being aware of the people around you. And it's like, what am I trying to say? It's like, like people being superficially nice. I don't know. Let's get some cards. Because sometimes good things come in and people will come out of the woodwork to try to latch onto that success to propel themselves forward. Two of Wands. Okay. Ooh, the world. Yeah, something big is ending. I wonder if you're making a split from something. This news that comes in, the whatever's moving forward for you is like you have to make a decision about how to move forward in the world. Or maybe even physically moving in the world. Like you something comes along and let's say it's a job offer and it's, you know, states away, or it's in another country, or there's some capacity where you're physically moving. You're physically leaving your current situation. With the signs and synchronicities, I feel like things are going to line up for you in a very fortuitous way, but at the same time, there's going to be a challenge about how you deal with the people around you, who you tell, how you tell them, you know, how you relay this information is going to be key, because we have a lot of swords happening over here with this letter. So how you communicate is going to be very, very important. And who you communicate with is going to be very important. Yeah. Okay, let's get... Ooh. Oh, Three of Cups, though. But it is something to celebrate. Yeah, as again, the book is super flowery. It's like a treacherous enemy. I don't feel like we're dealing, you know, unless you embody, you know, like D&D and there's treachery everywhere, which, you know, to each their own. But with the Three of Cups, I feel like there is a group of people, even if it's a small group of people, that you celebrate with, that celebrate this achievement, this news, whatever is moving forward. And it could be what's moving forward is something that, in a way, is very healing for what happened in the past. With the sun, we had the sun up here in its most challenging position. With what happened in the past, and it could be, as an example, like you've been working on a particular path, a career, and you in the past have been burned by it. It didn't move forward. Nothing was coming of it. And then suddenly it's like you get the breakthrough. There may not be some people who celebrate that. And that says more about them. Not to say that you know, aren't considerate of other people's feelings. You're not, you know, rubbing your success in their face. Your success is hard won. Your success is, well, like, you've worked a long time for it. You've worked very hard. And it's, I don't want to say like a delicate tightrope, but you're going to have to just be very cognizant of how you communicate with people as things turn, as things shift with the world here. And again, transformation down here to our last one. There's some big transformations coming. Something is ending and something is starting. Okay. Again, yeah, I feel like even if there are challenges to overcome, things are going to line up for you. Like, you're just going to be in the right place at the right time. Like, things are just going to, I don't want to say fall into place, because that kind of undermines like all the hard work you've done. But it's the idea of like success equals being in the right place and being prepared. And you've clearly prepared for things. And you're going to be in the right place. And you're going to be able to like take what you have, your wisdom, your knowledge, your work ethic, and be like, no, absolutely, I can do this. And however that is, and you move forward. So, all right, so 24 is the Heart, which is a very interesting card that came out. So it is for love, which is interesting because we have terror and fear here, and Othilla. And Othilla is the rune of like property and possessions, legacy. It's like it's a very solid and long-term kind of feel. So in its third position here, I love that. So it's merriment, gaiety will never leave you. Again, very flowery, but there's joy there. And I wonder, again, we were talking about something in the past that kind of, I don't want to say blindsided you, but definitely left you emotionally and maybe even physically hurt. Could have been physical displacement, You know, could have been a housing situation, could have been a partnership in business, in love, in, you know, there's, again, everybody's going to resonate differently with that. So there's something to say about whatever's coming in is long term. And I'm getting this sense of like, don't be afraid of what's coming. Don't be afraid of trying again, of being open to that, because it definitely has a long term feel here. Six of Pentacles. Okay. Six of Pentacles. We have the Tower. Darn. Yeah. Whatever happened in the past, I feel like it broke you down to your very foundations. And since then, you've been rebuilding. This could be in your physical resources, your mental, your emotional, spiritual resources, however that looks for you. You've been building for the long term. You've been building out your own legacy. The Six of Pentacles is very much like what you've been putting out is going to come back to you. There's a reciprocity with the universe. If you've been putting out a lot of good energies, good vibes, they're going to come back. Oh, yeah. King of Wands. They're going to come back in a very passionate way. And that, yes, that could be with another person. That could be with a business partnership. That could be even a career. Something you love to do. That, again, that doing it, again, the third position here was merriment, gaiety will never leave you. So imagine like a job that doesn't feel like a job because you love to do it. It's something that like you get up and you're like, yes, I get to do this thing today. It's going to be awesome. Like that kind of vibe. Could be a person. It's, again, everybody's going to be different, but it's definitely, there's a long term here. With the Seven of Swords. It's not, what is trying to come through? There's a what is trying to come through? It can't, I'm like getting, not unexpected, but something maybe unconventional. This could be a partnership that's unconventional, or a job or a career that's not typical. And it could even do something with communication as well, because with the swords here. Again, I'm seeing this kind of burst of light from the moon up here. And I'm seeing also the burst of light here from our Hanged Man. Something has changed. I don't necessarily, well, maybe it is you. Maybe you have changed in some aspect. But I feel like there's been a wider change as well. Like there's been change, and not just in you, but in the wider world. Okay, could be. Okay, you got the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this is something that you are passionate about, and absolutely has the capacity to increase your physical resources as well for the long term. Not something that's just like a one and done kind of gig. This is a long term. And this could be, if it's with another person, there's stability there, there's passion, there's stability. There's a big change. There is a big change, but whatever partnership you're looking at, because I do feel like it's some kind of partnership, however that partnership looks like for you, it is something that will give back what you give into it. Again, with the Seven of Swords, I feel like it's something that's maybe a little unexpected. Maybe it's something that's not typically conventional, however that looks for you. Okay, So 49, the dagger, which is one of our more challenging signs. Okay. All right, interesting. And we have Perth as well. Perth is the game piece. Intuition. Hidden things. The dagger is the symbol for a hidden assault. I don't feel, because again, in the fourth position here, it says someone will inflict pain on your heart. So I don't feel that you're in physical danger. As always, take your safety, your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual safety, like first and foremost. If something feels off, if something feels wrong, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. Don't put yourself in any kind of position. I mean, sometimes we do our best. Sometimes we end up in positions where you do have to protect yourself. So just, if you can prevent it, please do. We're going to get some more on that. But as always, I don't feel in this particular case it's about you're physically in danger. Again, don't. I'm saying this with like, please take a grain of salt and look at it hard and be like, don't go walking into oncoming traffic being like, I'm not in physical danger. Like, don't do that. Don't. Please use your common sense. So, ooh, with Two of Cups. Okay. Let's get some more. Ooh, I'm seeing you. Ooh, we have Two of Cups, the Fool, and the Star. Wow. Okay. Can we get, what is the dagger in this? Because I'm getting like a mess, but it's very opposite of like what the dagger is. Ooh, we have the Lovers. Okay. The Five of Cups and Strength. With what we were talking about with the Sun and the Heart and now the dagger, there's definitely a choice coming to you. In the past, there was grief from maybe letting yourself be open or vulnerable with another person, whether this was at work, whether this was in your personal life, however it was, there you had a vulnerability with another person or a group of people or a situation. You were vulnerable in that capacity and grief came from it. But you also found strength in it as well. In your grieving process from whatever this was, whatever fallout came of it, you have grown so strong from it. Something is coming in, and it is ultimately your choice to make yourself vulnerable again. And the dagger could be coming out as, again, it was like a heart pain. And again, we have the heart, over here, confirmation verb, with terror and fear, the rune there. There could be this resistance to being vulnerable again because of what happened in the past. But with Perth here, it's saying like, use your intuition. Like, yes, you can't see everything at first. Again, Perth is like that game piece, like what's going on with the other person, what's going on in the wider scheme of things. There's always things that happen like that. But this could also be an opening to take a leap of faith. With the Fool and the Star here, and this was something big, because you have four majors here. You have the Strength, the Lovers, the Fool, and the Star. This was something big, and it is something big now. It's not the same as it was in the past, though. This is a new step. This is a new move in a different direction, but it's going to be up to you whether or not you open yourself to be vulnerable to another person. And with the Two of Cups here, it very much could be a romantic relationship with someone else. It could be a partnership, could be a new friend. It could be, you finding a soul partner, or again, this coming together when in the past you came together and something clearly fell out because of it. That is not to say that going forward you can't take that leap of faith with the Star here and the Star and the Fool. Yeah, like that is, I feel, the definition of a leap of faith. It could be a wish. This could be something that you've hoped for, even if it was very even unconscious or subconscious, or something you never told anyone, of like what you want in companionship, what you want in partnership. That could also be, again, part of that being vulnerable. So it's kind of, you got some big stuff coming up this week. I feel like it's very mental and emotional. Even if the news coming in, even if that is coming in a capacity that is going to change your physical world, your physical resources, I don't feel like that's immediate. I feel like the most immediate thing is definitely going to be your emotional world. Your emotional and mental world is the thing that's going to be most impacted this week. All right, so let's get... Wait, oh, that's right. I was like, why is this over here? Oh, the cat. All right, so the wood pile, our firewood. Let's go back to number 5. All right, so the firewood is... Ooh, that's really interesting. That's right, because the firewood is... The general picture is your physical health. And with Awaz, this is the rune of self. No, wait. That's Manaz. I always get those mixed up. Okay. It's interesting that keeps coming up, though. However, Awaz is also teamwork and partnership as well. It's like the horse. Imagining like, teamwork. You have to work with a horse. There's like a team between the horse and the rider. A team capacity. So, teamwork. So in the third position here, it means a minor illness. So this is something, and again, if I am not a medical professional, if something is off, something is wrong, or doesn't feel right, please go see a professional. I am not one. I feel like I really have to preface this. Like, please use your common sense. However, in this position, because it's also attached to the last card, we read both its third and first position. And its first position is a good state of health. So if there is something that, like a minor illness, a minor injury, again, talk to your medical health professional. I am not one. But I feel like there's going to be an improvement. This could be something that you've been working, again, teamwork, partnership. You could be actually right now working with doctors, maybe a specialist, maybe you're going through like physical therapy. You're clearly doing something, whatever you're doing for your health right now. I get the sense that it's like, keep it up. Don't stop. And you're making a steady progress forward. And the people you're working with, if you are working with people, or again, I was going to say like a trainer or a physical therapist, like those people they're working well with you. Ooh, the Nine of Wands. Again, these sticks, the firewood as well. With the Nine of Wands, again, there's this... We've gone from the third position to the first position. Nine of Wands is almost at a 10. So it's like, whatever you're doing, don't stop, because you're almost there. You're close. And this could be even maybe you're healing from something. Again, maybe you've been working with doctors, you've been working with a physical therapist, a trainer, something of that capacity. You're very close. I'm getting this very like encouragement. Like there's this encouragement energy. Nine of Wands is also that card of persistence, that card of like, it can be defending yourself, but it's also like not giving up, not being like, I'm seeing this to the end. Like you have dug in. Again, the strength card right here. Like you have a lot of strength. You have a lot of strength where it counts. The physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength. You've got it. Yeah, I'm just getting the sense of like, don't stop. And with the runes down here, again, in the, now it's in the first position, we're talking about transformation, power, the plenty, the green pastures, the Yira, that cycle, that change. Something is almost at the end to kind of start anew, but I'm getting that message of just like, don't stop. They're like, don't stop, you're doing great. All right, I'm going to move this over here because we still have 3 other pictures. Don't slide underneath. And you're going to do it anyways. Ah, that didn't work. Anyways, all right. We tried. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. So that's firewood. And then let's get a card each for the ship, for the mice, and for the horse. I feel like I should read, again, we were talking at the very beginning when I was laying out the grid, the horse and the mice. Because those are more challenging images. All right, so 23. So the mice general meaning is, yeah, a loss or finding of a material article. And in its upright, its first position, it's you will find what you have lost. A material article. There could be something coming in that you thought was lost. The Queen of Swords here, it could be something that it was lost and you cared. You did care about that, but you did eventually have to like take a step back and almost kind of detach yourself from the emotional attachment you had to this thing. Could we get some more clarification on that? 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, a physical item. I don't know. And again, that's going to be very, very particular to like an individual. But something you thought you had lost. Something about it also, as it comes back, kind of brings you balance. So it could have been something that like you thought lost, and so you've been dealing with the idea of like, well, I'm never going to see that again. That's just not going to happen. And now as it comes back in, and that could also be some of the news coming in for you too. As it comes back in, there's, hi, are you confirming, ma'am? As it comes back in, this could be, you know, something that kind of helps balances you out. Or, I don't want to say like, turns the table? Like, wow, what's coming? Ma'am, you're very distracting. No, don't sit on the book. And she sits on the book. Ma'am, can I thank you for kisses? It's very sweet, but I need you to not sit on the book. I'm almost done with this one. Are you gonna yell at me if I put you over onto your cushion? You have one. It's right there. Can I help you? I don't know if the mic's picking it, but she's purring very hard. You're such a teenager. Come on. No. I know. I'm gonna get the stink eye later for daring to move her. Alright. Oh, where were we? Something as it comes back into your life is kind of helps with this rebalancing of both like a spiritual and physical aspect. Yeah, balancing on more than one front. Could also help reground you. Like the idea of like, well, whatever that is, I'm not getting it back. It's not coming back. And then as it does, when it does, it's kind of you need to recalibrate. That's like, oh, that actually did come back. That actually is here. So I'm going to flip over to 39, which is the horse. Yeah. So the horse is emotional upheaval, and I feel like these are definitely connected, the horse and the mice. So whatever is coming back in, the horse in its upright position, again, flowery language is, you will experience a vivid or traumatic life event. And not to downplay that this, whatever was lost, could have stemmed from a vivid life event. However that goes. Oh, sorry. There could definitely be some distractions this week for you. Never ends. So part of that, I feel, this could also be dealing, we were talking with the sun up here again. The sun and the moon as well. The thing that's coming back in, again, we have transformation power, green pastures, we have Yira with cycles, and we had the tower, we had like a lot of transformational energy, very powerful transformational energy. So things coming back in could also be addressing a past event that had a very profound impact on you, for however that energy resonates with you. Like there was still an impact, regardless of what it was. But things are coming forward, things are coming to light, things are coming back, I feel, in a positive way, in a much more balanced and grounded way. Ma'am, keep moving. Don't just put your fuzzy butt right there in the camera. I swear. And they're coming over whether you like it or not. Cats. All right. So, and we've number 3. We have the ship. Cute. It's number 3. Way, way, way in the front. Okay, ship. So the ship's general meaning has actually kind of 2. It's finances and adventure. In the upright, the first position, it's you will receive an inheritance or a winning. The Ace of Wands here. The Ace of Wands. This is something, again, we were talking about like with the 5 of Swords, like the news coming in, something, an inheritance or a winning. You've won at something. Whether maybe it was a contest, maybe it was a job application, maybe it's something you've, quote, won at it. Or something is, again, something coming in that you didn't think you would ever see again, or something very, very significant coming in. Again, this green pastures. Things are transforming into, again, Yira is like a harvest as well. It's a cycle, it's turning, and it's interesting that it's happening, well, this particular read is just so happens to line up with Thanksgiving because that's kind of a harvest holiday. There is a big transformation coming for you. And Not to say it will be easy. There's certainly going to be challenges in front of you. There's going to be past events that kind of come forward, but I feel you are in a very stable and healed capacity. You've gone through your emotions. You've been healing yourself. You've been working with your grief. You've been working with you. Again, our affirmation cards is like about thriving despite, challenges. Self-care, claiming what you deserve, your internal love and kindness, like those are very affirming to like what, well, they always tend to line up for the read. Yeah, something, the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like it's a little bit of both. We have some finances here, this idea of like stability, independence, and from that as well is connected the Ace of Wands, like the possibilities, this kind of almost fiery, passionate energy of adventure, of the mind. Like, could be a physical adventure. You could be going off into the world. It could be something closer to home as well, however that looks for you. So, okay. And then at the end, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. So ultimately, the challenges of this week are going to push forward in a way that, yes, they are challenges. Yes, things are changing. But ultimately, it's going to bring about, like, this, what am I trying to say? Emotional high? Again, sometimes putting like abstract concepts into words is, but the idea of, just like the idea of this picture, stability, community, family, however that looks for you, bright colors, just, I'm not necessarily getting words. It's more like just feelings and images. And that could be something, again, at the end of the week, even if the front it's kind of a front load of like a lot of stuff, maybe things kind of pick up or move quickly or you need to respond, and it's just kind of like boom, 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 boom. At the end of the week, there could be a sense of like taking a breath and being like, wow, I accomplished a lot. I tackled a lot this week. Even if it's not like in your physical resources, it could be very much, you responded, you had to put stuff forward, you had to like go here, do that, cross your T's, dot your I's, like it's like boom, 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 boom. Whew. And then it's like, okay, I actually did really good this week. Like, hot dang. Yeah. You're going to do some amazing stuff this week. Definitely for yourself and for your future. 100%. All right, so that is what I see for this week for you. And as always, little housekeeping. If you like the vibe here, please like, subscribe. Thank you for putting up with the antics of my cat, who now is perfectly fine curled up on her chair, not walking across the cards. So I don't know with her. Clearly you've got a lot of things going on. You've got a lot of energy. She was walking back and forth all over the place. So I don't know. I sometimes feel like that's, again, as the read ends, she's like, oh, okay, I'm good now. So yeah, maybe at the end of this week, do some self-care, take a nap, a little cat nap, if you will. But yeah, if you like the vibes, please like and subscribe, share the channel. It's super helpful. We also have a membership over at Buy Me a Coffee with behind the scenes stuff. I do little mini reads and doing deck reviews, and we post there 3 times a week. For $5 a month, you get exclusive behind the scenes content. And you also get a say if you have ideas for future reads. Like, yeah, go over Buy Me a Coffee and let me know. Be curious. All right, so that being said, this week, you got this. Make sure to take care of yourself. listen to your body, listen to your intuition. But yeah, that I feel is going to be the most important. So as always, take care of yourself, stay safe, and until next time, I love you guys. Well, I love you guys all the time, but until next time, I'll see you later. Speaking of a nap, we're gonna go. Okay, bye-bye.